Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Not Being Funny with me, Emily Moores. So this week, I'm here with my friend Izzy.
Hello.
Nice to have you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Okay. And you might recognise Izzy from Hollyoaks. So you've been on Hollyoaks now for like nearly coming up to a year.
So I've been there for a year, but on screen since January.
Yeah. Because I saw you like this. No, it wasn't this time last year. Like August.
Yeah, it was just before I started. Yeah.
And you were like, I'm going into medical acting.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're actually doing that.
Yeah, I did it for a little bit and then got this and then obviously stopped doing that. But no,
very nice. Well, me and Izzy actually know each other from college, don't we?
We do.
But yeah, we went Ashton sixth form, and yeah, I've not really seen you that much since then. I saw you.
It's been crazy.
In Leeds.
Yeah, I came up to Leeds.
Went on an Otley run.
Yes, we did do the Otley run.
And that was a long day. We dressed as cowgirls.
Yeah, that was great.
Did you go home or did you stay out that night?
No, I went back to Manchester.
Did you? Yeah. No, that was quite a nice night. But
it's good.
Yeah, if you don't know what the Otley Run is, it's like a big night out in Leeds. Is that the only one you've done?
I've done the Didsbury Dozen.
I've not done
bit different. Do you know what? It was all right, but we didn't dress up, so I had more fun on the Otley Run.
So, do you want to tell them a bit about yourself in case they don't know?
Yeah, so I am Isabelle. I'm 22. I'm 23 next week. I'm from Manchester. I'm currently playing Frankie Osborne in Hollyoaks. So I'm doing the SSA storyline, which is sibling sexual abuse, and the response to the storyline, which we were just talking about, has been crazy.
Yeah, it's a huge storyline. Yeah. Because when you come into it, I know you said like it was going to be a big part, like it's going to be like a difficult situation.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise it was going to be like that.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That it was going to go like this. I knew that when I got told I was doing the storyline, I was like, wow, okay, I don't really know that much about this. I need to do a lot of research, which I still do now.
Yeah.
But I didn't anticipate that it would go viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's gone massive on Instagram. My mum tells me it's big on Facebook. Like,
literally.
It's gone crazy, but in the best way possible.
Yeah. Well, so many people, like, when I was working the other day, I work in recruitment now, and she was like, cannot wait, not you, the girl from work, was like, cannot wait to go home and have a bath and watch Hollyoaks. And I was like, my friend's in Hollyoaks. She went, who? And I was like, called Frankie. She's like, oh my god, she's my favourite character.
I love that. That's brilliant.
But it's funny because like even people that from college or my friends from home that I've probably met you at a house party.
Yeah, like parties and stuff. Yeah.
Like, cannot believe that's Izzy. Like,
it's crazy.
You're like, she's my TikTok. You are my entire feed.
I am my own entire For You page.
Yeah.
It mustn't realise that it's me. I'm scrolling and I'm like, oh my god, here I am again. I got
questions about that, and it was like saying, do you watch yourself back? But I feel like you're actually forced to, even if you don't want to sit.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I watch as I go. So when we've done a scene, like they'll say, do you want to come and watch it? Sometimes I do, sometimes I'm like, no, I trust it's okay. So I watch the monitors back.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I actually don't really get time to sit down and watch the episodes back because
are they just on E4 now? I've been seeing them on YouTube as well.
Yeah, so full episodes are on YouTube. We're also on E4.
Yeah.
And we're on the Channel 4 app as well. So we stream it now.
Is it not on actual Channel 4
No, so it's not on actual Channel 4. We've gone to more streaming.
So like I was so into my soap, but I still am. But I was like Hollyoaks, Emmerdale, Corrie, like every night when I was at school. Yeah. But have you been watching Corrie at the minute?
Yeah, and one of my best friends is in Corrie, Sydney. Yeah,
she's doing so good.
She's doing amazing. She's so talented.
And her hair every day.
Yeah,
sick.
She always looks perfect, even when I see her, and she'll be like, "I've filmed for like this many hours," and I'm like, "You still look perfect."
She's a little troublesome one on that.
She is. I feel like Betsy and Frankie would be good friends. Yeah,
because you're like little rebels.
Yeah.
Like, when you first come in it, I was like, God, she's so stroppy.
Like, I know, and that's kind of coming back a little bit. So I'm getting to play around with her being a bit sassy again, which is nice because I feel like she's got a bit of her personality back.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to play too hard into that because she's been through a lot, and she is a likable character.
Yeah, she is.
So yeah, I think we'll see quite a nice change in her soon. Yeah,
because there was the time change, wasn't there?
Yeah, we jumped forward a year.
But is that like I was thinking, is that going to stay forever now? So is it always going to be a year ahead, Hollyoaks?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, we're still going to be a year ahead, which was weird at first to kind of get your head around.
But then you don't even mention the year, do you?
Exactly, we don't mention it at all.
Unless it's New Year's Eve, then it'll be.
Exactly. But yeah, we just kind of kept going, and then you had to keep going, oh, what? Well, that happened, and then that happened. So in the year I've done this, and then that. And at first it was like, oh God, I can't get used to it. But now it's literally just second nature. Yeah.
Tell you what I got a memory of the other day, and it was us at that, like in Wetherspoons at the wake.
Oh no.
We always used to go Wetherspoons
after college. Yeah.
I think we'd even gone on our lunch break that day.
I think we'd gone for food, not drinks. I just add?
Yeah, just for food. And we were there, and we were like, everyone's wearing black,
and it was really like
busy for a lunchtime.
Unusually busy.
Yeah, in Ashton Wetherspoons. And then we looked around, and we were sat in the middle of a wake. In Wetherspoons.
And do you know what? They shouldn't have allowed us to go in.
No. But so off a bit of the room.
Yeah, so the actual pub bit of Wetherspoons,
it's like divided. It's like all different rooms.
There was still people sat having drinks and food. So we just walked in, sat down, started ordering the food.
Yeah, probably ordered like a curry or something.
Literally. And then these poor people
are sat having a wake
for
their family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think we spoke the whole time. I think we just ate our food and left straight away because
mortifying.
That's probably one of the worst things that's ever happened.
Yeah.
I know, because it was completely by accident. If we would have known,
and we were like,
we would not have gone in.
No, exactly.
But we had no idea, and then we were in too deep.
Yeah,
we had to finish the food and go.
I know. We went on a nice little like reunion the week, but you couldn't come.
I couldn't come. No,
Alton Towers, and I wouldn't have come after Alton Towers.
Yeah, so it was like I got invited to go to Alton Towers for the Oktoberfest, which was great. And like, if you guys could go, it's brilliant.
It's really good. I've been in October, and it's really good.
It's so good, but I'm quite scared of rides, so I went with my boyfriend Adam and two of our friends, and they were like, go on Rita, like Rita's fine. Sat on it, it went straight away. I was crying, I was screaming. Adam was sat next to me. I was going, no, you told me it wasn't that bad, and he was laughing at me. And we got off, and I was literally
trembling.
I was shaking and I was crying, and someone went, are you Frankie from Hollyoaks? And I was literally crying. I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. I've just been on that roller coaster. And it was really bad, worse than I thought. And they were like, oh my God. And then I ended up just like trauma dumping onto this random person.
Like, wow, nice
yeah. Yeah, I know. And I was like crying in it. But then I went on 13, which wasn't as bad as Rita.
Did you know what happened on 13?
No, they didn't tell me. They told me, oh, it's really calm.
Because it
doesn't drop. It doesn't do anything. So it started off and I was like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah.
This is fine. No. Then it started going really quickly. It was dark. I dropped all the way like that. And then started going backwards. And I was like, are you joking? Why did nobody tell me this happened?
Well, we've done that to my friend. We did it literally the other week. Yeah. And she's like, this is really boring, guys. And then it's like, boom, it drops and then goes back. No. So there's your tip if you ever get tricked on to go in.
But my favourite was, what's it called? Runaway Man, which is literally a children's ride. Oh, yeah. And it goes, choo choo. Yeah. That was my favourite. I went on that about 8 times.
Well, you know what? I've seriously come to the conclusion now that I'm like, I don't like Alton Towers. Like,
really?
And I really do like, I like going to Alton Towers for the day. Like, I love the actual place, or going to like Blackpool Pleasure Beach. It's not Alton Towers, that was wrong. It's the rides. Like, I get so travel sick.
Yeah.
That I think now I'm like, every time my friends are like, shall we go to Alton Towers? I'm like, yeah, because it's like a really good day.
It's such a good day. Like, I had the best time.
All day. Like,
yeah.
It's not good.
I had the best time there. And so even I went on a few rides and that was great. And, you know, and then we went on like the ghost train and everything.
Yeah.
And I had the best time, and hopefully I'll be able to go again soon. And then they had all like the tent with like all the singers on and all the food. Like they had all like the breakfast sausages and everything. It was great.
A good day, isn't it?
And Ads went on, what is it, Galactica? Is that what it is?
Yeah, where you lay on your front.
And he came off it and he was like green. And I was like, oh God. And he was like, I think I need to maybe not go on any rides for the rest of it. We had to get some water. And he was absolutely fine. But he was like, I'm done. And weirdly, like, after I'd been on all the rides and stuff, I was so tired, like, but with my endo, like my legs and everything, because it's massive.
You're
like,
absolutely
you walk,
like shook about all day.
and then it's like massive walk around and stuff. And I was supposed to be coming to that reunion after, and I was like, guys, my legs aren't working anymore. I'm so sorry, but we've got another one planned. Well, we're going to plan one soon, aren't we? Yeah.
I was going to talk about acting as well. Yes. So obviously, when did you get into acting? Like, when did you start?
Yeah, do you know what? It was probably like my last 2 years of high school. When I was about 15, 16, I decided I didn't want to dance anymore. And I didn't want to do musical theatre.
Yeah.
I started getting like really bad anxiety when I was singing and stuff. And
oh, really?
Yeah, and I still have it now. Actually, if someone says like, "Do you sing?" I always go no, because I get it.
Because you can sing, can't you?
I can sing. I can hold a tune, but it makes me so. I don't know why. Put me on a stage, give me a monologue, and I'll do it. Put me on a stage and make me sing something like "Happy Birthday." Can't do it.
Yeah,
petrified.
Well, I went to uni of Leeds, so that's how we know each other, because we did drama together. And it was like our end of year kind of performance thing, and we did this musical comedy version of Macbeth.
Nice.
We had to rewrite it, but I was like, right, I want Lady Macbeth, and I had to sing, and like I don't sing, and I was terrified, but I thought if I just be confident and just like audition for it, maybe I'll get it, and I got it. And I was like, the whole show, I was like,
shaking,
trembling.
Yeah. Because you know you've got to sing.
Yeah. And the girl that wrote the songs, my friend Maisie, like, she's so talented. Yeah. She like kind of adapted so many different musicals, songs, and like kind of put it to it, and like wrote her own music, her own lyrics, everything. But she was unreal. But the song she did for me was quite like a bit belty. Like I feel like I could just shout it.
Yeah.
Which was all right. But
I like that.
I probably didn't sound great, but
you will have
scary.
Done. Yeah, it is. It's so scary, and I think that's why I loved the character parts of musicals and like the acting. And I thought I want to just kind of try just acting out. And I remember people being like, "There's no work in it. Like it's either musicals or whatever. Like you've got to be able to do all three." And I was like, if it comes to it, if it comes to it, I can do a song and I can dance, and but I just feel more confident just acting.
Yeah.
So did my GCSE in it. Really loved it.
Your
really
school
enjoyed
was quite
it.
good for acting.
Yeah, it was really good. So I went to Fairfield. Yeah, we've got some. We've
got Miss Strictly Come Dancing, like.
Yeah, Ellie Leach went there. Yeah, she was actually the year above me.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just gone on to do amazing things.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and then did obviously drama A level.
Yeah.
Loved that. That was great.
We had such fun time.
We had the best time.
We did the weirdest plays
We just laughed the whole way through.
It was so good because there were so many of you girls from Fairfield. So
there was a lot of us actually.
Give the vibe of like the yous were friends. Me and Liv were friends, and then I don't know. We all became such good mates.
We just it was just such a nice group of people.
It was, and we were like, we just kind of started by having a few like house parties. I think Liv had the first kind of house party.
I think she did actually.
Then I had the Halloween.
You had the Halloween one.
Yeah, my toilet smashed at that. Like it cracked.
Oh my god,
and
I remember.
It flooded my floor. My mum and dad were not impressed.
I remember
never.
That.
Like, Emily. But
that must have been in the first year. That was first year of college.
My mum and dad, when I got my GCSE results, were like, "You can have a party."
Yeah.
And they were like, my dad was like 15. My mum was like 30 people. So I just invited whoever I made friends with.
I remember there was a lot of people.
There was a lot of people. Yeah. But it was really good. But yes, we all made friends, didn't we? And then we did some like strange plays, like really fun plays.
Oh my, the best.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
And our teacher just pushed us to do whatever we wanted and let us just be wild and weird. And
he was great. And he was, I mean, I'm still in, like, most of us are still in touch with him now. And he massively helped me because I decided quite last minute actually that I wanted to go to drama school.
Yeah.
And he was helping me with my auditions, and I'd never really touched Shakespeare away from English, so I'd never had to actually act it before.
That was hard, wasn't it?
It's really tricky, and a massive part of drama school.
Yeah.
So I feel more confident with it now. But
did you do it a lot at the Arden?
Yeah, we did. We had to. We did it in first and second year, and then third year was kind of more. You got to kind of pick the areas that you were interested in. So some people carried on doing it. I didn't. I focused more on screen stuff. I think it just depended on your strengths and what you enjoyed doing. So then from Ashton, I went on to the Arden, which is in Manchester, quite near here actually, and did my 3 years there. First year obviously was COVID, so
because did you apply for there later?
Yeah, I did actually.
Gonna say, 'cause at
I
college you weren't
applied.
saying about the Arden.
No, so I applied for 5 schools, I think. Some were London ones, which I actually ended up not auditioning for because when I went down to view them, I didn't get the vibe, and I also thought I don't massively want to move to London at this point in my life.
Like so young when you're 18.
So I actually ended up being like, I don't really know what I'm actually gonna do. Do I want to take a gap year and try again or whatever? And then my mum said, "Oh, what about the Arden?" And I was like, "What? I don't know what that is."
Yeah.
Northern working class drama school in Manchester that I hadn't heard about, that I think a lot of people
haven't heard
of, that should,
I've not heard
it was great.
of it.
No, it was
Quite
great.
A few of my friends went there and did musical theatre.
Yeah, we have musical theatre, vocal studies, dance. They've just launched either this year or last year MAs in directing.
Oh, have they?
One's for stage, one's for screen, which I was really interested in.
Yeah, doing
a masters and doing more stuff there.
That's the thing, I think, because I went to Uni of Leeds and did theatre and performance, which was really good. Yeah. However, now coming out of uni, even when I was doing it, I was like, God, there's so much theory that's going on here. Yeah. That wasn't about acting. It was about like politics, activism, fashion. Like
we had quite a lot of that, to be fair. Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know, there wasn't lots of training about the industry. Yeah. And I come out of it thinking, don't have a clue. Yeah. So that was the only thing. However, Leeds was like the most amazing city to live.
It is so such a nice city.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know, I think that was a lot of the questions I got asked as well, was about like if people hadn't gone to drama school or you just maybe are just wanting to start acting. Like, where would they start? How do you get an agent?
So I always say drama school is absolutely not the be all and end all of anybody's career. I work with a lot of actors that haven't trained or have come to it later in life. There's a lot of people winning Oscars that never went to drama school, fell into it from a completely different career. So I'd say, number one, if you haven't been, don't feel pressured that you need to go. If it is something that you want to go and do, I had an amazing time and it was great, but it's also not for everybody. Yeah.
It can be intense.
Yeah, it can be really intense. But again, it's just, if it's right for you, then it's right. If it's not, there's so many different ways you can go about it. My biggest piece of advice for people, which I always say, is go and find an acting class or a drama group that you enjoy going to.
Well, you recommended Act for TV for me, and I love Act for TV. Great. Like, I've been going since November last year now.
Yeah, I obviously act every day for my job. Yeah, but training for me is still so important. So I still go to CMA. That's with George Bakari, and he's actually my acting coach. He's been my acting coach since I was probably about 17.
I said to him, I didn't know what he looked like. You kind of recognised him from your Instagram, but I didn't like know he was like your acting coach or he was your friend that does acting. Yeah. And I went to his lesson. We were walking there, and I was like, "Oh, so are you like going to the lesson? Have you been to the lesson before?" And he was like, "Oh, I teach the lesson."
Oh,
and I was like,
so funny.
I was like, I thought so. I was like,
so funny. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he was really nice.
He's brilliant. It's massively helped me in like every step of my career. Like, he's always been there, and yeah, he's great, which is why I still love training with him. So yeah, I'd say find a class that you really enjoy. Act for TV is great. We have them in Leeds, Manchester, Liverpool. There's also loads of others. Act Up North.
Yeah.
God, they're all going out of my brain. There's so many.
I think a lot of like the talent agencies do their own classes
as
well.
Yeah, they do.
I'm still looking like, if you've not got an agent as well, like I always thought, oh, it's like, I don't know, you go to these classes and everyone kind of introduces themselves and their agent and everything like that. And I'm like, I don't have an agent. But I don't know, like we were talking to one of the casting directors of, I don't know what she'd cast. She's
called Juliet.
Yeah, I think so. And she was saying, she was like, seriously, like I wouldn't even worry. Like she was like, people get cast like with or without agents.
Yeah.
Obviously, agents can like help you, guide you, but you'll get an agent when it's right.
Exactly. That's everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. And it's also working on your spotlight. That's what I found is 100%. Like an investment.
Like Spotlight is amazing. It's basically like a CV for actors. I'd say if you can afford to have one, they do like, I'm pretty sure they do like student deals and like young performers and things like that.
Because it can be quite expensive.
It can be quite expensive.
Don't get me wrong, I've got no work from it yet, but in my head I'm like, it's there, I'm uploading, just keep going with it, because if I'm like, because I feel like you kind of knew where you were going from when, as soon as I met you, like you had an agent and stuff, thinking you go into auditions and like I feel like you just really got yourself into the mindset of like you knew what you wanted to do and you were passionate. Like you could see that from any of the acting classes that we did at college. But I don't know, that's the thing now that I finished uni, that I'm like, right, I know what I want to do, and I need to just keep going with it.
And it will happen, because I feel like when you put effort in, and it's hard, I won't lie.
People will see the effort as well.
Yeah, I won't lie. It's such a hard industry to be in, get into, anything like that. It's not a walk in the park. Even now, I'm working every single day. It's still hard. It's still like, I still have to put myself out there and meet directors and casting directors and things like that, because that's just how the industry works, and that's what I want to do. So I think that the effort that you put into it will always see rewards from it, because
and it's just like being a nice person. I think networking is
networking
thing.
Is massive. And I mean, I can only speak for Manchester, but there's a lot of networking events that we have here. 53 too have a lot of them.
Yeah, I've not been there.
You need to go. It's so good,
because it's like amazing. A theatre cafe.
It's like a little bar. They do food, they have shows on, they put a lot of independent work on, which is so important to go and see as well.
I think my friend Izzy, I think she did a show there recently.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
because did you get nominated for a national television award?
No, not an NTA. No,
right, because I was thinking it was, and I was watching it and I was like, where's Izzy?
Like, no, I wasn't there.
There's so people there, and I was like, she's not there.
No.
And I was like, have I missed a bit? My mum and dad were like, no.
Wasn't nominated for an NTA.
The Soap Awards are, because you've had the Inside Soap Awards.
Yeah, so I've had the Inside
Soap Awards, right?
Yeah, so the Soap Awards weren't actually on this year. We had the Radio Times Awards.
Like, because they're always on TV, and it's like a huge dress up thing. Are you going to one that's like a red carpet vibe?
We've just had Inside Soap, which was amazing.
And she won.
I did.
Exciting.
And then I've been nominated for a Royal Television Society Award, which is insane.
So wild.
I can't believe that. So, I mean, hopefully I'll get to go to that, because that's in Manchester in November. I'm on the long list for TV Choice Awards, which is 2025, so that'll be next year. It just depends whether I make the shortlist or not.
Or anything like that?
I don't know, really.
That'd be like, imagine.
I'd love to. I mean, I always watch that, but I'd be a mess. I'd be a mess, because I watch that at home
on TV in the room. Though I think
sob.
Like more intense.
I'd be an absolute mess. I don't know if I'd actually be able to get through it.
Yeah, I remember like I used to not like watching that when I was little, because it used to make me so scared almost, or like so upset. I'd be like, oh, because those stories are like so moving but so huge,
and the people are just incredible. Like, I sit and listen, and I think, how
are you doing that?
How have you been through?
Yeah, because people on that, it's like, it's such a good
It's crazy,
show.
but then that's also, so I've had the privilege of meeting a few survivors of SSA,
Yeah.
and we actually did a docu-style, like filming interview thing that's on
Yes.
YouTube.
I saw a bit
We
of
did
that.
that, and that was harrowing, and I was
A mess.
so emotional all the way through it, and
Yeah.
I was having to ask these quite difficult questions that had obviously been cleared before.
Is your storyline, your storyline's huge, like such a
Yeah.
big deal, and I
Yeah.
can't even imagine what that's been like to act as well. Like,
It's been a lot of time and effort that I still put in now. A lot of research, a lot of reading victim statements, a lot of speaking to people that have been through similar experiences to Frankie, and just making sure that they were at the forefront of everything that we've done, because ultimately I want Frankie to be a voice for
people that
girls,
feel like
boys,
speak.
men, women that feel that they haven't been able to speak, because like I said before, I knew nothing about it because it is not spoken about widely enough. So it's nice that it's been on the news, and we've done so much social media about
That's
it.
why it's so good that it's also blown up on TikTok and Instagram,
because
like,
that's like
so
a younger audience.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be like, I've had really emotional scenes all day, particularly when we were in the thick of the abuse portion of the storyline. Going home and switching off was hard, but I'm so lucky that I have a great support network in and outside of work, just to speak to and to kind of lean on and say, oh, it's actually really hard today at work. And I think actually just being able to say that, because at first I was like, I'm fine. And then I thought, no, actually it is hard, because I get messages still now every single day from people, just saying thank you, and it's so lovely, and that's what makes it all worthwhile, and that's the reason that I'm doing it.
Yeah. No, I'm not surprised. Right, this is like a really big change of topic.
Yes, go for it.
So I was gonna, a lot of my podcast is about dating and everything like that. So you have a boyfriend, don't you?
I do.
So how long have you been with your boyfriend?
A year next week.
Ooh, has he planned anything?
We're going for a meal.
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll be lovely.
Might know your birthday as well.
Yeah, I really know my birthday.
Nice.
Yeah.
So birthday present. But yeah, I'm in a relationship as well. I've got a boyfriend.
How long have you been together now?
Like a year.
Yeah.
Because he was my boyfriend.
It was around like the same time.
It was like, I started seeing him in like September last year. Because he was my
we
boyfriend
were the same.
Before uni.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
we split up for 3 years and then saw each other, and then kind of just got started from there.
Amazing.
So I just thought we're going to do a bit of a section on dating, just because that's what we talk about on here. So what were you like on dating apps? Like, did you use dating apps beforehand?
I've never been on a dating app before. Never.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
To be fair, like,
quite boring.
In my head though, you've had like relationships.
Yeah, I've had relationships before my current relationship. But yeah, I was never like on dating apps.
Used it
no,
at
never.
All. Really, I was rife on Hinge.
Really?
Like, yeah,
I love that.
Like, when did I first get it? I feel like at school. Did you ever have yellow at school?
No.
Everyone at my school, it's called Yubo now.
Right.
And it was like for.
See, I don't even know what that is. I'm so like out of it.
It was meant to be like making friends.
Right.
But it was not for making friends.
No.
I was not making friends on this app. But then I had my first boyfriend, if you remember.
Yeah.
Like, from college and stuff. And then I did get Tinder when I was 18 in lockdown. I'm nearly 19. And that's how I actually met my boyfriend.
I love that.
We did know each other. We'd met in Khaleesi and Staleybury.
Oh my god, like, I haven't heard the name of that for so long.
Like, it's, I don't even know it's still open.
I have no idea.
I met my boyfriend there, met him on Tinder, and then when we split up, I did get Hinge and Tinder in Leeds, and I was like dating all the time. But in my head, I thought you were dating like this time, like not this time last year, like more summer. because we were talking about dating when we went out, and I was thinking, oh, like you'd met them on Tinder or something, but
No,
Tinder's a
like,
wild place.
yeah. No, I've just never been.
Yeah.
I've never been on a dating app. It was just, I don't know. It just didn't. I didn't ever want to go on it, but I'm just like everybody that does. I'm like, yes, you go, girl. But just for me, like I never
stray away, like literally, because the amount of people, like there's so many strange people on Tinder,
I can imagine,
like the messages that you get
I
sent
can imagine
are, like,
you've got to be quite
revolting.
careful on it as well.
Literally.
Like I hear horror stories from dating apps as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Luckily, I mean, I was going on quite a lot of dates, but I feel like I didn't meet anyone that was like, I didn't have bad experiences.
Good.
Luckily.
That's so lucky, isn't it?
I think because in Leeds, a lot of them were already students.
Like students, around it.
Or you might have recognised them, or you follow them on Instagram and you've got mutuals.
Oh, perfect,
and stuff like that.
So you kind of knew that they were real and okay.
That's the thing. However, I did go on a date once with this guy, and I walked into. Have you been to Bundabust? It's like an Indian.
I've been to the one in Manchester. Yeah,
so nice.
It is really nice.
It's like a vegan, vegetarian.
It's so good. The paneer curry is out of this world. Very nice.
So good. So I'd never been. So I went there with this guy, and I walked in, and I couldn't see him, and I just saw this other guy look up from his phone, like when I come in, and I thought, I've been catfished, and I literally nearly walked over to a member of staff and was like I thought, I cannot, like, if this man has, like, some old man has set me up.
Oh no,
he hadn't, and he was sat kind of like behind me.
Oh, okay.
In a suit, right?
Oh.
And I'd had experience with someone that was like in a pyramid scheme before, and this guy was in a pyramid scheme, like, you know, like sales guy. And I thought, oh god, he's like wearing like a full-on suit to this first date, and he's like got this fancy watch on, and he's like kind of practically flogging me his job this full day. And then at the end of the day, I was 20 at this point, maybe 21.
Yeah.
And I think I was 21. And he went, oh, just to let you know, because on his profile it said he was 21 as well. He was like, I'm 19. And I was like, why would you lie?
Oh no.
You're literally
There's
old
just
enough.
no reason to lie about like age and stuff like that.
And you're old enough to be on a dating app.
Yeah.
Like, you're 19. Just be 19.
Oh
like,
god.
I was like, oh, and then he was like, do you want to see each other again? I was like, probably not.
No.
Like, sorry.
No, I don't. Sorry about that.
Not.
Yeah. I'll tell you about mine and Adam's like first date or whatever. So we knew each other because we used to work with each other years and years ago.
I was going to say M&S.
Yeah.
Fucking heck.
Years and years ago. And he went off, because he's an accountant, he went off to uni and he finished that, and he was then doing like his exams and stuff like that. He came back in to work when I was still working there.
To work there?
No, like to shop.
Oh.
And it was my last day there.
That's meant to be.
Yeah, and I was like stacking the shelves, and then one of my friends came up to me and went, that boy over there is gorgeous. And I was like, oh, let me see. So I was like peering down the aisle like this, and I was like, oh, that's Adam, like I know him. And he was like, oh my god, he's gorgeous. And I was like, yeah, like we've been liking each other's Instagram stories. And he was like, you should talk to him. I was like, no, I'm not talking. I was like, no, I'm not talking to him. And so I stalked him around the shop. Like, I'm not joking. I followed him around the shop.
Shelves.
Yeah, which is really awful. And then I was stood by the exit, and he like came past and he was like, hi, you okay? I blushed. I went bright red, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. Awful. And it was just so embarrassing. And my friend was like, why don't you message him? I was like, I'm not messaging first. And then I thought, do you know what? I am going to message first. Like, why shouldn't I? So I just messaged him, and then we got talking again. And he was like, I'd love to take you out for dinner. And I was like, oh, lovely, amazing. So we had it planned, and he booked it. And then I was filming an ITV drama at the time.
Is this maternity?
This is, it's actually not come out yet, so I don't know if I can say it, but it comes out soon, so all will be revealed. So I had my call time through for the next day and it was like 5 a.m.
Oh.
And so I messaged Adam and I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to cancel. I really do want to see you and I really do want to go for dinner, but I've got to put work first. And that is another thing that you have to sacrifice a lot in this industry.
Yeah.
I've missed so many parties, birthday, like everything, because I've just, put that first. And I felt so bad. I felt awful. And then, so we rearranged to see each other on the following week, but just like more of a casual thing. I think we were just going to go and literally like
get some
watch
food
just something casual, like not a dinner. And I was driving and I broke down.
Did you?
I broke down.
Sorry, I can't
my clutch went in my car and I was due to meet him in like an hour and I thought,
I cannot cancel
He's
again.
literally going to think I am avoiding him and I'm absolutely not. And I texted him and I said, you actually, because he'd cancelled football and everything.
No.
And I was like, you're going to think that I'm lying. But my car has broken down. That I think my clutch has gone. I don't know what to do. I've never broken down before.
Did he come and get you?
And he was like, where are you? And I like sent him where I was. He turned up.
No.
Sat with me for like 5 hours while the AA came and towed my car away.
Nice first date.
Towed my car away. Got me a Mackey's standard because I was hungry. It was literally maybe about midnight and this boy was still waiting with me for my car like to get fixed. We came home, just like he stayed with me until my mum got back, and then he left. And I literally said to my mum, I was like, I want to marry that boy.
Yeah,
like
he's gonna be my husband.
The nicest boy I've ever met in my life.
That's so nice.
It was so lovely. And then we just started kind of like spending more time with each other from then.
Yeah,
but like literally since that day, we've literally been inseparable.
Do you live together?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we've literally been inseparable. And he's like my best mate.
Yeah. What would you say that your love language is?
My love language.
Yeah, your love language. What is your love language?
Adam will say gift giving.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, like you give gifts to people? Or do you like to receive?
Like I turn up to every event with a gift, or like we'll be going to his mum's or something, and I'm like, I must buy flowers. I have to. Yeah. And he's like, why? We're just going to drop something off, and I have to have, like, I must buy
her flowers.
Yeah. I'm also such like a cuddly, like
I'm the same.
Like even if like I'm just touching you with like my toe, or just you know what I mean, just so I know you're there, like that. But yeah, I feel like we have quite similar love languages, which works. Yeah,
I feel like with me, I'm kind of like, I don't know. In my head, I was like, words of affirmation, which I definitely think I am,
which is lovely.
Yeah, and I think I love to give that, like say things that I can't help myself. I speak all the time, so I'm like, I can't help but just say things that come in my head.
Yeah,
and I didn't think I was like that much of like physical touch. Like I knew I liked physical touch, but I think I am like, and I crave it. And like, I don't know, I'm not someone that will lie next to you and want to touch you 24/7.
No, I like my own space as well.
Yeah. My boyfriend is like, we're going to sleep, and he's like, Emily, get off me now. Like, and he'll end up just telling me off because he gets so hot. Like, my boyfriend's a brickie, and he's outside all the time.
Oh,
so he gets hot dead quick. We're in the winter, in like the worst storm you could imagine, and the windows are open. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like literally horrible. I'm there shivering and like trying to cling on to him, and he's like, Emily, get off me, like I'm boiling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that is your problem. Like, you need to go regulate your body temperature somewhere else, like not in my bedroom with the windows wide open.
Have a cold shower.
Yeah, let's put a flannel on your head or something. Get you an ice pack. But like, it's strange. But as well, my TikTok at the minute is full of like attachment styles as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, I always thought I'm a pretty secure attachment in a relationship. And I think I am. But like I've got some dilemmas for us in a minute.
Ooh.
And it got me thinking, because I feel like I can be quite an anxious attachment. Yeah. Like an anxious person in a relationship, and I don't think I have anxiety. I don't think I'm overall an anxious person, but I think like if anyone shows me an ounce of rejection, the way that my brain is like bang, 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 bang. Like, I was watching Inside Out the other day, Inside Out 2, and I've never watched it, and I really thought, wow, like, I need to think about that. Like, when my boyfriend's upset me and I think to call him like 6 times, I'm like, why did I do that? Like, because then I come away from it and I'm like, that was silly. Why did I do that? But what would you think you are? Because there's what's the other one? Avoidant as well. There was 3.
I've never really thought about it that much. I mean, I have anxiety anyway. Like, I take medication for it, and I have done 4 years, and I've done a lot of therapy around that and around kind of like OCD and things like that. And so I've gotten a lot better about being like anxious attachment in a relationship. And I understand that like my anxieties are for me to deal with, not like to attach on to
other people.
But that's taken a lot of work to do.
I just talking about men and like how some men are so confident in like that, I don't know how they address women. I was going to Izzy's 21st and I was getting the train from Leeds on my own, and it was like in Deansgate. It was dressy.
Oh my god, don't tell me a horror story that happened.
It was a nice party as I want it. Like, your venue was so
it was
good.
so nice. It was such a nice night.
Yeah, and I was like wearing some like long dress.
Oh, you look stunning. I remember. Thanks. Yeah.
Well, this guy thought I did as well, and he was shouting down the train.
No.
He was like through the seats at first, like staring at me, but I was on my own, and he was like, "That is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life." Like, and he literally was like bombarding me, like
it's like a form of love bombing. It's like literally like continuous.
And then he come and sat with me, and then I like felt like I had to speak to him. I was on this train for an hour. There was no getting out. It was so busy. And he, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind. He was nice looking, and like if you'd have just maybe approached me at that point, I was single, like very single, and he could have approached me and be like, "Hey, like you look stunning, like can I get your number?" Or something.
Yeah.
Maybe then.
Or just something like in a respectful
don't shout me down the train. And then like I literally couldn't get away, so I was meeting Liv. And in Victoria Station, and she saw me like walking out with this man, and he like held my hand.
Oh, and I was like, my
and she was like, "Who is this?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like literally, I was like, "Bye." Right. So I've got a dilemma for you. Okay. It's quite a long one. We got sent in. Okay. So me and my boyfriend have been together for just over a year. We went to the same uni. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Just over a year. We lived really close to one another. So it was really good, and everything seemed really perfect. In July, we graduated and moved home from uni. I live in Manchester and he lives down south. We both drive, obviously have access to the train, so I didn't see it being a huge problem. I knew the distance would be sad, but we just seemed so settled with one another, and I didn't see there being many big issues. Last week on Wednesday, he called me and explained he thinks we need to split up. That's not nice. And this came as a complete shock to me. I think I was meant to be going down to see him that weekend. We had so much planned for the weekend, and the week before we were talking about our future and the dogs that we're going to get one day. He said that he thinks the distance is not working. He's just felt that he's lost feelings for her.
Right.
I must admit, our communication was less than usual, but I tried to look over this. I didn't want to seem like I was nagging him. There was no talking to him, and he'd made his mind up. He was really cold with me on the call. I don't know what to do. What do you think could have happened in such little time? That's so hard, isn't it? Like,
that's horrible. Because I just know, like, a breakup from that kind of you're not expecting is the
so
worst pain
ever.
I felt like I was going to die. It was the worst pain. So I'm so sorry that you're going through that, because it's horrible.
So not nice.
But I also think that if he was able to be that cold with you on the phone and completely switch up in such a short space of time,
he's not the right one.
You do not need him.
No.
In your
and
life.
Also rejection's redirection, isn't it? Like
100%.
Breakups are horrible. I can remember when my boyfriend now, when we split up the first time, like I was in bed for weeks.
I was like I had to sleep in my mum's room because I just was so upset. It's just awful.
It is, isn't it?
But I honestly think from what you've said, I mean, long distance relationships are always hard. But I think that just the fact you said the communication changed and everything like that, I just think he probably wasn't mature enough to maybe be in a long distance relationship.
And also there'll be someone else that isn't there? Like
there will be somebody that would drive the length of the country every single day to be able to see you for 5 minutes.
And I think that's the thing as well of like what we were talking about just before about the avoidant. Like I think sometimes with guys, it might not even be that he's lost feelings.
Yeah.
It might just be that he's also sad. He doesn't love you or whatever. He obviously doesn't deserve to love you if he's ended it anyway. But I just think sometimes it can be more like a boy's first response is to be like, no, not doing it. I'll be fine. I'll go out with the lads.
When things get a little bit hard, I think it really shows
maturity as well.
And just the type of person that somebody is. Well, first off, you will be okay.
Yeah.
Because I felt, like I said, that it was the end of the world. And I am such a better person for going through that. I also think that time will
throw yourself into your friends.
100%. And I think a little bit of time will pass and it'll get easier and it'll feel better. And you actually might discover a whole different version of yourself because you haven't been probably as independent as you maybe might have wanted to, or didn't have the opportunity to go and do some things or whatever. Exactly the same thing happened to me.
Yeah.
I finished uni, got broken up with, and I'm okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And look at me now, I'm in a very happy relationship.
I had the opposite of I kind of got broken up with a bit blindsidedly by my current boyfriend. But when I started uni, or like midway through my first year, and at first I thought, my God, I'm never going to get over this, like this man. Like I was so beside myself, upset, and like couldn't even fathom like talking to any other guys. Like I can remember someone tried to kiss me about 6 months on. I cried. Like I was like, oh. But it literally made me experience uni to a new level that I knew I wouldn't have if I was in a relationship. Like sometimes you just need to have that single time, and if someone doesn't see the value of being with you,
it's not worth it.
No. Okay. What would your advice be for self-confidence? I'm 23 and just feel quite lost with where my life is going. I work in retail. I'm struggling so much to get a proper job. I find customers just to be really annoying, and they're not actually doing anything wrong. I think it's just more the fact that I'm not enjoying my job. I think the fact I'm single and a lot of my friends are in relationships or are just busy, that I feel a bit left behind and I've got myself into a bit of a rut. I see all over social media people my age with what seems like their dream job, their own place, and it just feels like a million miles away from me right now. I graduated a bit ago, but the transition to moving home from uni has been really hard. What would your advice be for finding yourself?
Number one, everything on social media is fake. I promise you that. I work with a lot of influencers, a lot of people that do social media for their job, and it's not glamorous and it's not real life. I try and keep my social media as real as possible, and
I think you do a good job
why
of
I post like when I'm having an endo flare up and I'm literally like this on the sofa all day and I can't move, because that's like my reality and that's real life for me. So, and I know how hard it can be. because I used to go on social media and see people in films, filming TV shows, and I'd be at my supermarket job thinking, I can't do this
What am I doing with my
anymore.
life? Yeah.
And I actually did something quite radical, which I don't know if I would recommend doing. I quit my job without having another job because I was so unhappy. It was making me ill. Like you, I couldn't deal with customers because I just felt so lost and not myself. And the thing that was making me feel that way was my job. I rang my dad and I just said, I can't do this. I was in tears. I said, I can't do this. I don't want to work here. It's making me feel ill. And he said, Izzy, leave. Walk away. Walk away. You will be okay. Luckily, I had the support of my family around me at the time, which I know is not everybody's reality. But he said to me, leave. He said, it's making you ill. It's making you not confident in yourself. Quit.
Yeah.
And I did. I went upstairs and I said, this is me handing my notice in, which didn't go down well. But I had to do that for me and for my mental health. And then I believe everything happens for a reason.
And look at you now.
A few days later, I got this job, my Hollyoaks job. And I just think everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, definitely. I think in retail or hospitality, you feel a bit invisible sometimes, and like,
yeah, 100%.
People can be so rude and forget
So
that you're just a
horrible.
person. And like for me, I can so relate about the getting annoyed as well.
Yeah.
Because the like actual irritation I would get if some poor old lady had just forgot to order decaf and I've made her whatever latte and it's like so far down my list and I've got this.
But then it becomes your fault.
Yeah. And then I've got to like rearrange like all my coffees that are going on. It was like the biggest stress of my day. And I'm like, wow, that was a decaf coffee. And that really upset me right there. But I could not get a job for the life of me. I was applying for so many things.
Yeah.
Acting for me, even now, like, feels like a million miles away of, like, being able to be paid by that or get work in it. But it's like, keep going if you've got a dream for anything. But I think even if you don't know what you want to do, I've, like, got a job in recruitment. Don't get me wrong, it's not a commission-based recruitment. But it's just something that looks better on my CV that then I can use to move to something else and something else.
Yeah, 100%.
And don't get me wrong, I didn't move to my recruitment job and like the grass was so much greener. Like now I'm sat in an office. Yeah. It's like, it's not dead fun. You know what I mean? Like, but it's better money than hospitality. I'm not on a 0-hour contract. I don't know how was it like rota shifts and it was in retail, isn't it? Yeah. Whereas I was 0 hour. So I could come into work and get told, you're done now. And I've been there for 45 minutes. Like,
oh God, I would have loved that.
Yeah. But then you don't get paid. Like,
yeah, that's so true.
So it could be so different each week. But like me and all the people I worked with there, like, we're still such good friends. And I had such like good memories. And I was so glad I worked there. It's so near my house. But now it's like, I was glad to be away from it. So I think also like with your friends being in relationships as well, like sometimes it doesn't matter. Like you've got to be single and do things for yourself. Take yourself out on a date.
Yeah, I found that really tricky at first. I'd never been out for dinner, just me. And now I will quite happily do that all the time because I took that leap once and went out and I listened to a podcast. I had like my little ears in. I was eating. I took myself shopping.
Headphones on, exactly.
I took myself shopping. It's just about finding things that you enjoy. But also, you could just say to your friends, "Look, like
I'm feeling this way.
Struggling a little bit. Can we have a girls' night? Or do you fancy going for dinner? Or it doesn't even have to be a big going out drinking.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Sometimes that can be not what you need.
Sometimes maybe just like, do you have an hour to just go and have a coffee with me and just go for a little walk or just a little catch up?
Sometimes they are the nicest things.
Yeah.
Like just doing something small. Like you said that I'd never really gone out for food on my own.
Yeah.
Until I was in Leeds.
Yeah.
And I walked everywhere on my own. Like I went to the gym every day. So I feel like that was something like to start doing on my own. as well. But like just going for coffee or going for food on my own, it wasn't as nerve-wracking as I thought.
No, it's actually not nerve-wracking.
However, I hadn't done that since I left Leeds, like been for a coffee on my own.
Yeah.
Because in where I live, like my grandma is like up for a coffee every day. Like,
Yeah.
I go for my grandma
Yeah.
every day. Or there's someone about, or there's someone I know. But like I went into Manchester the other night and I had a bit of like time to kill before my acting class. And I was like, I'm going to take myself. I actually got in Ezra and Gill and I've never been able to get in.
Oh, it's amazing.
The queue today, I was walking. It's
so
like
big.
10 o'clock.
Because it's
all down the road.
It's Saturday. Is it Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday. The queue is insane.
Huge. I literally heard someone walk past and go, must be good coffee in there.
Yeah.
And then it was nice. I got a chai latte, but there was no queue because it was like a Monday evening.
Yeah.
But I just thought, I've not done this in like a good while and I really needed it. Like just to just sit there in your own thoughts.
Yeah, like in your own space.
Yeah.
It's your own time. No one's rushing you. I love shopping by myself because no one's rushing me.
I went in the Arndale.
Yes, I can try stuff on. Like, no, you know, I'm not like you thinking, oh, they're bored outside or whatever.
Yeah, someone shopping with you and they can't be patient. Like,
see, I'm sometimes a bit like that when I go shopping with my sister.
Well, I feel like you need to be on the same wavelength of shopping or on your own, don't you?
Yeah, or on your own. I'm a better shopper on my own. 100%.
I am. Okay, so we're coming towards the end of the episode. So I put out a poll, like just asking if anyone had any questions for Izzy.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of responses. So obviously,
which is so lovely. Thank you.
So many of you are so interested in Izzy, like your relationship, your
that's lovely,
acting and everything. So quite a few we've covered, like in regards to acting, because a lot were people being like how to get into the industry and advice for that. So I've got a few. They're all random, to be honest. They're not all like necessarily just for you, but they're just questions for you.
Great.
So first off, do you think you can ever be friends with an ex?
Oh, that's hard. I think it completely depends on the situation. I think it depends on how things ended. I mean, I'm from a family where there's a lot of divorce and and everybody's friends, and so that to me would be normal.
Yeah, more normalised.
But I think that it just depends on the way the relationship broke down.
I think so as well. Whereas, like, if my boyfriend was friends with his ex, I think maybe then I'd be like, why'd you have to be friends?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think it depends, doesn't it? Because I think if you've ended in a nice way or you've got mutual friends and you just fell out of love with each other, like, I think it's fine as well. But I think it's completely like personal
I think it's very like individual.
I think lines can blur though if you become friends with the ex. Sometimes, like, I think obviously things can happen and it's more, you've got that chemistry, you've got the history, so it probably can be hard. I feel like I'm friends with people that I've dated, I've never been friends with an ex just because it's never happened, and I feel like maybe I'd think into it more than a friend. That's but I think some people can detach that. But right, is flirting cheating?
For me, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
These questions make me blush.
Have you got any new projects that you're working on?
Yes. So these are things that I have filmed before I started Hollyoaks. I've got 2 things actually coming out in November, which are both one's a TV series, one's like a special ep of something.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's really fun.
Can't really
do you
say anything else about
things anymore, or?
No, I'm solely in a contract with Hollyoaks. Yeah,
very nice. Hey Izzy, if you could live in a day in the life of any celebrity, who would it
be? Michelle Keegan.
Yes.
Because I feel like we're both from Stockport. She started in soap, has gone on to lead dramas. She's somebody I massively look up to. I think her work ethic, perseverance, again, is insane. She just champions like working class, especially women.
I think she gets like a lot of slack as well sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of stick, maybe is the word instead.
And I mean, she's come out and said soap is one of the most important things for young working class actors, and I couldn't agree more. I think
she was amazing in Collie,
I think it's where a lot of people start their careers, and I think that she's just a massive inspiration to me as a woman as well as an actor. Like, she's built her home, she manages a successful relationship, she does deals with brand, like, she is like a multi-talented
and she never
woman.
Stops working. Like,
no,
I got my boyfriend, he'd never watched Our Girl, and we watched it and he loved it.
Do you know what? Ads has never watched that. I should get him to watch it.
It's so good. I think because it's not like a girly program, it's like
it's about it is about love, but it's about conflict within the world and also relationships and things.
So interesting. Brassix is so funny.
It's so good. I
was obsessed with her in Coronation Street. Like,
she's just an insane talent. She can do comedy as well as she can do drama.
And she's a strong woman in like everything that she does.
She's such a strong woman.
So, I have a picture of me as like a kid lay on the floor outside the, like, what do you call it? In like the Coronation Street
on the corridor,
yeah. But what's it called? Like the work.
It was like the building, like where she fell. Yeah.
And I have a picture of me and my cousin on the cobbles, like, because everyone was doing it. She just died, and it was like Who Pushed Tina.
Yeah,
it was huge, and so that was really good. I think if I was to be an actor, I'd want to be like Jodie Comer.
I was literally, she was the other person that I would have said.
Unreal, isn't she?
She's
like
insane.
She's in Help.
So good.
That Help that she did was. Wow.
She's just such a natural
She's a ball of emotion, isn't she? Like,
she
she's
just
insane.
is. Yeah, I watch her and I can't take my eyes off her, even when she's not speaking.
I'm the same. I'm in awe. Like, she's literally so free with everything that she does.
Insane.
Like, she can just access so many emotions and like the accents as well. Like in Killing Eve. She's literally, that is, if you've never watched Killing Eve, like, just watch it. It's such
a masterclass
program. What is your favourite scene that you've shot so far? That's one that's been on TV.
For me, it was a hard one to film, but it was also the one where I've felt the most creative, as in I've been able to ad-lib and kind of improv a little bit. And it was the scene after the motorbike crash where my mum unfortunately passed away. And I was trying to move the motorbike and she was underneath it and all of those things. And I worked with a director, Neil Wilkinson, and he's just incredible. And he kind of allowed me, because the actual script for it was very short. It was just like, Mum, no, and all of that stuff. And he said, whatever you feel in that moment, just allow to come naturally, which is what I love doing, because I never put pressure on myself to cry or to do anything, because I think Frankie in that moment will just respond how Frankie feels. I try to like leave Izzy's preconception of a scene out of it. So I always prep my scene before, but then I think it always takes a different course when you start acting with different people and everything.
Like, when you when we're at college, and even at uni, it was like that you should write on each line what you're gonna do.
Actioning,
But then, like, now I don't use that, and I think like prep for a scene, like prepare for it. And everything.
I still action beforehand. But then I also allow myself to just take the natural instinct, because when you get on set, the scene becomes something completely different to what you
don't know how your partner's going to react, like how they perceive the scene. Because I think I used to be like, take my glasses off at this line. That, and it's just like just happens, doesn't it? That was a sick scene.
Thank you.
That was because like the screaming that you were doing, I was like, whoa, like, because that was before the time jump.
That was just before it, and I'm quite fortunate that haven't experienced grief in the form of a close family member. And so I had to kind of think how how would I even do this, because it was so complex, because obviously her mum hadn't believed her, and there was the whole JJ dilemma, and it was a hard scene to do, but when I finished I felt proud of it and how I delivered it, which is quite rare, because you always think, oh, I could have done that, but I actually felt like content with what I did, and just allowed myself to just
go with
be in that moment. And that was like a one take thing, which
that's better sometimes, because I feel like if you do loads of takes, sometimes it can be so hard
sometimes
to,
you
get
can
that
lose
raw
it
emotion again.
So I was very fortunate that nothing went wrong.
Definitely. Like, no one messed up the lines, guys. No. Right. And then I got a lot of questions about endometriosis.
Oh, really?
So
that's amazing.
Just like you wanting to just talk about it, or your experience, or so. Remember at college, I don't think necessarily you knew you had endometriosis.
No, I didn't know them, but I was always
you always had issues, didn't you?
Ill, not in, missing lessons all the time.
So what are the symptoms of endometriosis?
So it can vary between different people. So I'll talk about it from me, because I can't speak for other women. I had a lot of UTI infections, kidney infections, pain all around my lower abdomen, my back, pain when actually urinating. There's no nice way to say it. You can have pain during intercourse, heavy bleeding, very painful periods. I get really bad leg pain where sometimes I have to sit on the sofa. I do this like waddle, which me and Ads call like my endo walk. I literally waddle around the house like a little penguin. I get pain all up into my back. I'm always cold. I always have a hot water bottle. It took me like 7 years to be diagnosed, something crazy like that, just because there's not enough research into women's health in general, and that goes for like polycystic ovaries, ovarian cysts, just anything that is solely to do with women's health. I think that is massively underfunded, and that's why it took me so long to get diagnosed, because as well I was always told, no, you're too young to have that, but you're never too young to have endometriosis. And so I'll just say endo is where the where your tissue grows outside of your womb. So for me, mine is on my bladder, my bowel, something called my pouch of Douglas.
What's that?
It's do you know what is I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But it's on there. Word before. The pouch of Douglas. It's a funny word, isn't it? It's on the ligament.
My grandma's called Douglas.
Yeah, it's on the ligament across my back, and then it's also on both of my ovaries. So it can cause fertility problems. It can cause trouble conceiving, having children. Not in every case. So it's one of those things where I have to navigate it daily, because it's a chronic illness. So it some days I'm fine, like touch wood right now, completely fine. But whereas I had a week at work last week where it was just the worst pain ever, and I had my hot water bottle and I was dosed up on paracetamol and everything, but you just have to kind of say to people, look, I'm actually struggling today. Because for me, I'll just like plod on and not tell anyone. And then I thought, no, I actually need to say I'm actually in a lot of pain today.
You're better off, aren't you? Because like, I don't know, it's better to make people aware.
100%.
I think there is definitely becoming more awareness about that and women's health. Okay, next. Has being in the public eye affected your relationship in any way?
I would say no. Because Ads and I just have quite a secure relationship. I always make sure to consult him if I'm posting something that he's in or whatever, or if we're going somewhere where I know there's going to be press, I can make sure he knows that. And because I think that's part of my job. That's not what he signed up for. So I just always try and make sure that he's comfortable. And vice versa, you know, if he's posting something of me, I'd like to check it first.
Yeah.
Things like that. But yeah, no, I don't think it has. I think it's, I mean, parts of it can be quite exciting when you've not been in that before. So yeah, we just try and have fun with it, and, you know, say yes to the things we want to do. If we don't want to do something, we don't do it. Just
navigate it as it comes, type of thing. Okay. We actually spoke about that before. I was saying, have you ever watched yourself back?
Oh yeah.
But it was saying, have you ever watched yourself back and got emotional at the scenes? That was what someone asked.
I don't get emotional at myself acting.
Yeah, that was great.
But imagine that was so good. Well done. Sometimes I get emotional at the response that I get from my acting.
Yeah.
But no, I've not watched something and been moved to tears from by myself, unless it's been really bad. And I've gone, oh my god, shocking! That needs to happen again.
And then, what are your plans for the rest of the year?
Oh, that's exciting. Celebrate my birthday, which I've not spoken about. If you don't know, it's my birthday. It's mine and my boyfriend's 1 year anniversary, so we'll be celebrating that. We're going to the Lake District.
Nice.
Just have a bit of time away, bit of switch off time, go for some nice walks. It's Adam's birthday.
Oh, you're born quite close together.
He's December.
Nice.
Yeah, so he's a Sagittarius. Just thought,
what are you?
A Libra.
A Libra.
Yeah. So it's his birthday. He's 25. So celebrate his birthday. Celebrate Christmas with our families.
Nice.
Try and spend some more time with my friends and family around that time, because I get a little bit of time off, which is lovely. Nice. I'm starting a really exciting storyline.
Christ, another one.
In December.
That'll be really good.
Which is going over to the new year, which won't be on screen until New Year. I'm very excited about that. So yeah, I'm just working and trying to balance seeing all my lovely friends and family.
That's what when you said about another big storyline, like, I would say Hollyoaks is such a good soap for actors to get into, I would think, because
insane.
they have so many storylines. Like, I can remember watching it when I was younger, and there'd be like new character near off like every week, or someone would die. Like, it was so good. Like, there's so many storylines going on at once, and like it can just kind of jump from one thing to another, and it's just got energy. As like, I feel like it appeals to a younger audience as well, Hollyoaks, more so than maybe other soaps. But I don't know, it just has such energy to it, and that's so exciting that you can do all these different storylines.
And I feel like we cover a lot of things that other soaps are scared to cover, or things that aren't necessarily spoken about widely in society, like, you know, Frankie's story.
That's Channel 4 as well for you, isn't it? Channel
which is amazing.
Of sort of representation for taboo things.
And I've been so privileged to be a part of that. And I've just had the best time, and I'm so glad that Frankie's had the reception that I think she's deserved.
Definitely.
So I hope I can just continue to do that.
Very nice. Well, it's been lovely having you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
Now.
I am actually as well.
But this has been Not Being Funny. So if you want to watch another episode, you can find me on YouTube and Spotify and TikTok. But thank you, Izzy.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.